Welcome to Mahipal Reddy GK House. Myself Prithviraj Reddy. Today I am going to discuss very important current affairs. And let us come on to the first topic. International Museum Day. International Museum Day is celebrated on May 18th. Okay, so what is the purpose? The purpose is to create awareness on the importance of the museums, because museums are very important to learn the information about the artifacts. Okay, so who organizes it? International Council of Museums Advisory Committee. So coming to the theme of the International Museum Day, the future museums recover and reimagine. So this is what the theme of the International Museum Day. What is the theme? The future museums recover and reimagine. Okay, so coming to the background of the Museums Council, International Council of Museums, it was created in the year 1946, and the day has been celebrated from the year 1977. The president of the ICOM, International Council of Museums, is Alberto Garlandi. Alberto Garlandi. Okay, and the headquarters of International Council of Museums is located in Paris. Okay, Paris is the capital city of France. Okay, so this is what about the International Museum Day. And the second one, former IMA president, Indian Medical Association president, DK Dr. KK Agarwal passes away. He died because of the COVID, and he hails from very great background because he's a renowned cardiologist, and he was awarded with Padma Shri. He was born on 5th September 1958, and he belongs to New Delhi. So currently he is working as the head of Heart Care Foundation of India. So as he is a renowned cardiologist, he is still working for the heart care in India. And you may get a question like this: what is the highest award in the Indian medical field? So they may not ask you directly about the achievement of Dr. KK Agarwal. They may ask you something information related to Dr. KK Agarwal indirectly, like what is the highest award in the Indian medical field? What is that award? Dr. BC Roy Award. So which was awarded to Dr. KK Agarwal. And in the medical field, he has introduced an important technique, that is color Doppler echocardiography. This is the technique he has introduced. Okay, so this much information you require. Next one, Tribal Affairs Ministry signs a memorandum of understanding with Microsoft. So you know Microsoft, it is an MNC, which is a technology giant across the world. So it is also renowned for the social service as a part of corporate social responsibility. So the purpose of entering MOU, what is the purpose? To transform the tribal schools, because we have to introduce the technology to the schools in order to improvise the learning outcomes. So what is the name of the event in which this particular MOU was entered? Was empowering the youth for the success. This was the theme of the event. Target schools. What are the target schools? What are the schools that are targeted? That is Ekalavya Model Residential Schools, Ashram schools, and other schools. So government residential schools which are working under the Tribal Affairs Ministry are covered under this particular scheme. And what is this agreement about? The Microsoft will make artificial intelligence curriculum. So it means you are going to introduce artificial intelligence in the pedagogy or in the teaching mechanisms. And so this will be available for the students in English, Hindi, and the Microsoft is going to hire the schools or cover the schools approximately 250. Okay, so the Microsoft is going to adapt 250 schools for this particular scheme. And next one, startup name that is called Jupitis develops world first private digital school. Okay, so let us learn something about the previous topic. So actually, the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, the minister is Arjun Munda. Arjun Munda, and Ministry of State is Renuka Singh. Renuka Singh. And coming to Microsoft, so who is the CEO of Microsoft? You are well aware of Satya Nadella. And coming to the headquarters of Microsoft, located in Redmond, city of Washington. Redmond is located in Washington, and which is in United States of America. Okay, then. So next one, the startup name is Jupitis, which has developed the world first ever private digital court. You understand, in the judiciary, a lot of cases are piling up, which are unaddressed for years together. So Jupitis is a startup. So the private sector is also working in order to reduce the burden, because in the courts, not all the cases to be resolved by the court itself. Some cases can be resolved by the conciliation mechanism. Okay, so that cases can be resolved amicably and discussing across the table. So this particular startup, its name is Jupitis Justice Technologies. It is a Chandigarh-based startup, and it developed world first private digital court. So private digital court means it does not entertain any such cases like criminal cases, but only those cases which can be amicable by the settlement mechanism. So what is the purpose? The purpose is that the platform would aim for arbitration, conciliation, mediation, and negotiation without the help of the administering body. So there will be no requirement of any administering body. Rather, this particular platform itself will be giving a stage where the disputes can be resolved in an amicable and friendly manner. So who is the founder of this particular Jupitis Justice Technologies? Raman Agarwal, and it is located in Chandigarh. These are very, very important points to remember, because it is very, very novel intervention from the private sector, and especially from the startup. So it is very, very attractive topic for the examiner to question you. And what is the alternative dispute redressal system, ADR? Just briefly, I would like to tell you, that is resolving the disputes amicably. Amicably means sitting across the table and resolving your disputes, keeping aside your differences, trying to work upon the solutions which can be win-win for the both parties. That is called alternative dispute resolution mechanism. There is a legislative framework in India, especially first legislation is called Legal Services Authorities Act of 1987. This is the first legal framework in order to go for this particular thing. And secondly, Conciliation Act of 1996. This is the second measure from the government. And thirdly, recently, government has passed arbitration and conciliation amendment bill of 2019. So what is the speciality of this particular legislation is, it aims to establish independent body, that is Arbitration Council of India. What is that body called? Arbitration Council of India. This is for the promotion of the alternative dispute resolution mechanism. Okay, so this much you have to remember. And next important current affair is Indian Navy hosts GMS 21. So what is GMS? Goa Maritime Symposium. It is conducted by Indian Navy. So it was conducted between 11th May and 12th May of this year. And coming to the program, it was conducted virtually. And the theme of this particular program was maritime security and emerging non-traditional threats, a case for the proactive role for the Indian Ocean Rim or Indian Ocean region navies. Okay, basically you understand Indian Ocean is very big ocean. Definitely many threats are emerging. So traditional threats means the threats like piracies. Okay, but non-traditional threats, it could be some sort of any organized drug trafficking. Okay, so like that sort, many threats will be there in the Indian Ocean. So for that reason, all the nations have to work in a concerted manner. So for this reason, Indian Navy has hosted this particular Goa Maritime Symposium. In the Indian Ocean region, we have 13 countries, especially India, Bangladesh, Comoros, Indonesia, Madagascar, Malaysia, Maldives, Mauritius, Myanmar, Seychelles, Singapore, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. So these are all the countries which have participated in this particular GMS 21. And as far as India's contribution is concerned, for the development and defense of this Indian Ocean region or Indian Ocean rim countries, India had started SAGAR. SAGAR means security and growth for all. So this may be a important feedstock for your examination. And secondly, Indian Ocean Commission. So question may come, India is a member of which of the following? In that case, they may ask you, India is not a member of Indian Ocean Commission. You must remember very, very carefully. Okay, but India is the only observer nation. What are the member nations or member countries? Madagascar, Mauritius, Seychelles, Comoros, French Reunion. These are the countries which are the members of the Indian Ocean Commission. And there is another grouping concerning this particular Indian Ocean region, Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Okay, so what are the member countries? India is also a member of this particular BIMSTEC. Along with India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Thailand are also members of this particular BIMSTEC. So the headquarters are located in Dhaka, and it was established in the year 1997. Okay, do remember all these facts. And next important topic is more than 70% of the snow leopard habitat under researched. Under researched means we did not explore the complete habitat of a snow leopard. Okay, so which is reported by WWF. So what is WWF? WWF means Worldwide Fund for Nature. Okay, which is an international non-profit organization dedicated to the preservation and conservation of the nature. Okay, it is a global non-profit agency, and it is working on the conservation of various species, and it is world's biggest conservation organization. You must remember this. It is world's biggest conservation organization, and it is supporting more than 1,000 projects across the world. So president of WWF was Carter Roberts, and which is headquartered in Switzerland, that is in the Gland city. And what is the report it has published? The WWF had published a report called Over 100 Years of Snow Leopard Research. So in 100 years, what had happened? So that is what the content of this particular report. It says only 23% of the habitat of snow leopard has been explored. So lot of information has to be explored. It is yet to be explored according to this particular report. The research had been conducted in various countries, but it is more conducted in Nepal. This is the order which explains which country has been prioritized over all these years in the research. In the Russia, it is least studied. Okay, and the lead author of this particular report was Rishi Kumar Sharma. So this much information you must require. Okay, and coming to the snow leopard. So what is the snow leopard? It is actually called as ounce. Okay, and a large number of this particular, this is what cat species. Okay, this is this belongs to cat species or cat family. It survives in the mountain ranges of Central and South Asia. Very large geographical expanse it covers. So let us also learn in which countries you can find these snow leopards. And it is having a distinctive features to be identified. So this is all white fur. Because of that reason, we say it is a snow leopard. Okay, and it looks like this, white color. So, and moreover, its areas of habitat include the snowy areas. Okay, and coming to its adaptations, it is more adapted to the cold and mountainous environments. And next important things is the physical features of this particular snow leopard include small rounded ears. See the small rounded ears. This is what the characteristic features of this particular snow leopard. And coming to the International Union of Conservation of Nature, so which publishes Red Data book, so which explains the conservation status of various plants and animals. So it says it is vulnerable. And what is the major threat to this particular snow leopard? Poaching, that is hunting, illegal trade in body parts, along with the habitat destruction, because global warming is causing the destruction of the habitat of this particular snow leopard. And there are 12 countries in which we can find this particular snow leopard include China, Bhutan, Nepal, India, Pakistan, Russia, and Mongolia. So you must remember these countries, okay? Because they may mislead you by giving one wrong choice. For that reason, you have to remember all these countries. Coming to other thing, new species of Asian gracile skink discovered. What are the skinks? Skinks are nothing but non-venomous species. This closely remember the snakes due to the small limbs, because the small limbs you can't really notice readily. They will be having some small limbs, but overall they appear like the snakes. And it is named as Subdoluceps nilagiriensis because it is found in the Nilagiri area of Tamil Nadu. So it is named like this. And who discovered? It is discovered by a group of herpetologists working for the IUCN. And where it was discovered? There are two species discovered. One is Subdoluceps pruthi. It was discovered in the parts of Eastern Ghats. And second one is Subdoluceps nilagiriensis, which was discovered in the dry deciduous area of Western Ghats, especially in the Nilagiri area of Tamil Nadu. And there are certain special features associated with these particular species. First one, the new species has slender and small sized body. Okay. And second one is these appear in the brown color. Thirdly, they feed on insects, termites, and crickets. So anything can be a matter of question. So that's why please remember. And next important current affair is DRDO had discovered anti-COVID drug. Okay, actually Union Defense Minister Rajnath Singh released the first batch of DRDO's anti-COVID drug, that is 2DG, for treating COVID. Okay, so this is a drug which treats the COVID of the patients ranging from moderate to the severe symptoms. And the COVID drug, that is 2DG, had been developed by DRDO's Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences, that is called INMAS, in collaboration with Dr. Reddy's Laboratories. It is a private company. How does this particular 2DG drug work? So the drug actually accumulates in the virus infected cells and prevents the virus growth by stopping the viral synthesis and energy production, because viruses are not able to sustain outside the cell. Okay, they can replicate only inside the cell. So what does this drug do? The drug will specifically accumulate in the virus infected cells, not in the non-viral infected cells, and specifically target them, and in which the virus synthesis or replication will be stalled. So the 2DG drug comes in the powder form, and it is administered orally by dissolving it in the water. And very, very importantly, this particular drug reduces the oxygen dependency by 40%, so that you can make the COVID treatment very easy. And coming to the institution of DRDO, that is Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences, the director of this particular agency is Anil Kumar Mishra, which is located in Delhi. Coming to the Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, the chairman of Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, Satish Reddy, and it is headquartered in Hyderabad in Telangana. Next important current affair, that is Supreme Court launches an app for the journalists, because this COVID time does not permit the people to gather in the courtrooms. So for the journalists to get the information, it became very difficult. For that reason, Supreme Court had launched an app so that it can enable the journalists to report the virtual proceedings without having to visit court premises. And who launched this particular app? The CJI of India, that is Chief Justice of India, N.V. Ramana. And coming to the sports, MMA World Champion. MMA means Mixed Martial Arts. Who won the title? Arjan Singh Bhullar. But you must remember, Arjan Singh Bhullar did not represent India, rather he represented Canada. Okay, and this event was conducted in Singapore. Okay, so this much you have to remember. And there are certain apps which are introduced and launched by the state governments. First one, HIT, so which is a COVID app which was introduced by the government of Bihar to track the COVID patients. So what does the HIT stand for? Home isolation tracking. This is what a particular app. Secondly, Jagrut Tripura. As you can easily guess, it was launched by the Tripura government, and it creates an awareness regarding the schemes of the state and center. Coming to other schemes launched by other state governments, because in the examination, you may also get the schemes launched by the other state governments also. So first one, Ayush Ghar Dwar. It is an initiative of Himachal Pradesh government. It is a COVID related one. Okay, so Ayush Ghar Dwar. And secondly, Vidya Aapke Dwar. This is an initiative of Madhya Pradesh government. It is a part of Ayush Pure app. Okay, so you must remember all these schemes and applications released by the state governments. Okay, so thank you friends. Meet you in the next class. Thank you so much.